Well, it's been, I don't know, it's probably over a week since I've worked on this one, because I've been working on the 132nd F-14A from Trumpeter. I was pushing over that, so I've sort of stopped this one, but now I'm back on it, having a break from the Corsair. So I've cleaned up the seam along here. Where last time you saw it, a whole heap of putty along there, so it's nice and cleaned up now. Cleaned up the leading edge of the wings, or the not the wings, sorry, the fuselage area that leads to the wing. I've rescribed. I had to clean up the spine where the nose section joined the bottom, the rear. There was a step, so I've had to sand that and clean it up and rescribe. So now I'm going to, and I've glued on the rear parts just before the nozzle. So now I'm going to clean up I'll clean up the stabilizers, but I'm not gluing them on. I'll just clean up the leading edge seam. But I'm going to clean up the vertical stabilizers, the seams, and then start putting them on. And the flaps, I'll clean up them and glue them on. It's getting near the stage pretty much where I can get towards priming. I've still got to put the nose on, obviously. I've left that off for now, and I'll get these other parts on that it's adding more weight towards the rear. Then I can do another check of how much more weight I need, even though I've added some. It's already, you can see I'm balancing it where the main gear is. It still wants to tail sit, so I'm going to most likely have to add lead in the nose to level it out. Alright, it's starting to look like a Tomcat. Those twin rear stabilizers on. I've got the flaps on. I've drooped them. I know that's probably not accurate, but again, neither is the slats activator, but it's adding interest to the model display. I've put the resin nozzles on now. When I did a fit with them, again dry, they're not quite the same diameter as the plastic kit ones, so I wanted to just get them on now, make sure it's all good. I'll just paint them on there, it's no big deal. I need to paint the interior of the speed brake area there red, so I'll prime it black, then paint it red, and then I'll mask that off. I still need to add some antenna. This is an antenna on the spine, and what else did I have to do here? Oh, I got to put the lights on the tails and the wingtips and mask them. I'll do that before I paint up the aircraft, just to keep it tidy. Pretty much I'll put the arrestor hook mechanism on, which was all those parts. So pretty much I've got to prepare all the doors as well, but no need to do that yet. So it's pretty much close to priming now. I've got to put the windscreen section in, and then I'll need to mask off the cockpit so I can spray and put the nose on as well, of course, but I'm still, you can see she wants to go back, so I still got to work out how much weight I'm going to sit in that nose. So I've put the windscreen in. It didn't fit great, and I had to clear piece had like corner edges on the front or towards the pilot that were fouling how it sat, so I had to trim them off. So I'm not sure what the go was there, but when I trimmed them off, then it would sit down. But it was still, this side would sit nice and flush, this side tried to sit up a bit, so I put the rubber band around. Then I put the toothpicks there to hold the rubber band away from the plastic, so that then I run extra thin along the join. So if I used the extra thin and the rubber band was touching the clear part, the glue would have went along the rubber band and just snapped it. So it's just to keep it separated from the glue. So I'll leave that settle to dry off properly before I remove the rubber band. Okay, so I've painted in around, I've painted the windscreen black so that if you look from the inside you'll see the dark colour. I had to paint a bit more black around the cockpit area where the canopy sits. Painted in the speed brake area, and I'm doing the engine nozzles with buffable Mr. Metal colour, dark iron. So you can see I've done this one, buffed it up just with a cotton bud, and I'm going to do the other one. So you just rub it back. And so on and so forth. You can use soft cloth too, but just some awkward areas to get at there. This cotton bud makes it easier. Okay, I've masked off the nozzles, the speed brake area, the leading edges of the stabilizers. The instructions call out for silver. I had a look at some images. I'm not sure if they're actually painted or they're just natural metal. So what I did, I just painted it AK Extreme Metal Steel. I mean, it doesn't really matter if they're painted. It still simulates paint or the bare metal. Painted the nose in. That's radome, and if you're after that colour, Mr. Hobby has you covered. H318 radome for F-14, A4, F4, A7, etc. What I did is I primed the nose black, and then I used a splatter template and sprayed grey primer on top of the black. If you're not sure what I mean about the splatter template, please look at my video of the 132nd Trumpeter F4U 1D. I'll show you there the template and how I use it to get the weathered paint. After that was on, when I sprayed the radome, when I painted it on, I marbled, which is like mottling, or you keep moving, wind the needle in so it's not spraying everywhere. It's got a fine line, and just randomly spray and just build it up. So it looks, the look I'm looking for is a weathered, worn paint, which has a tendency to happen on the radome on aircraft. So I need to, I'll give those areas a clear gloss coat, mask them off. I need to mask off this, the rest of this canopy frame, or the outside of the frame where the canopy sits, mask it off, and then I can prime and start painting this beast up. So I'm going to start with the underside of the aircraft. The colour for that is FS3 6622 grey. So in Mr. Hobby, which is the colour I'm using, is H311. So it's extremely light grey. You can see here I've put some tape and I've pre-shaded, but I haven't done here yet. when airbrushing, even if you turn the pressure right down, even, well, I'm talking about myself, I can guarantee I'll find a way to get some orange peel. Like when you're spraying in, even though if I go at angles that where I want to paint, in the right angled area, the air flows like a vortex, and you get rough, the paint dries before it hits the model, and if that happens you'll get what, orange peel, like rough paint, and then it becomes a problem. So I'm just going to do it, paint this area and then mask it off, and then I'll do this section in here. Just like I said, even I know you got to turn the air pressure down, and that's what I do, but I'll manage somewhere along the way to get a bit of orange peel, so I'd rather avoid it. So that will be the first colour up, is the H311.